Hello, Australian political parties. My name is Aaron, and this is Wattle Labs. So, Wattle Labs is an AI and machine learning startup, and we've got a focus in sales and marketing. However, there's a great overlap between marketing and politics. So, in both, you're trying to affect change within the population and communicate and understand. So, Wattle Labs technology can help you know your constituents better in the same manner as it will help a company understand its customers better. And we can help you then connect with your constituents in a more real manner. And finally, we can help you understand what the silent majority are thinking, and perhaps we can help inform policy. So I'll just get into it. I just threw in all the Commonwealth electoral divisions, and what our technology can do is it can psychologically and behaviourally profile every person in Australia. It can also profile cohorts, so we can just create a cohort of people who live in your electoral divisions and then profile those people en masse. Fenner is the first on my list. We've profiled approximately 158,228 people to create this profile. So the profile of the people who live in Fenner, the people you're representing, I think it's Andrew Lee MP, your constituents are in fact low income, low education, provincial city. In our model, we classify Canberra as a provincial city. You've got a very Australian culture in Fenner, family orientated. They were office workers with a responsible personality, community focus, active schedule, and are in good health. They're married, partners in a domestic relationship. Your constituents are professional and work in public administration and safety, which is not surprising being in Canberra. What our technology can do is create a persona of your constituents. And then we can look at the statistical highlights, what parts of their persona are very statistically significant. And the lifestyle, again, this is Canberra, not a provincial city, is the biggest factor. Responsible personality, and typically the age is 35 to 39, so young families and such, working for the federal government, driving to work, working in an office full-time. So firstly, that's understanding who your constituents are. But where we can really help you is then we can create a persona. The prototypical Fennerite is John, is a dedicated and responsible office worker in the public administration sector in a bustling provincial city. At 37 years old, he's known for his active involvement in community initiatives and his commitment to his job. We can then look at your dreams, desires, fears, worries, goals, motivations, principles, interests, type of entertainment, hobbies, sports, brands. The predictions we can make about Fennerites are quite extensive, as you can see. So we can really do a lot of psychological and behavioral profiling of Fennerites. Again, we are a marketing and AI startup, so we can help you spin the product or the message of increasing tax to a Fennerite. And what this means is instead of just having one message for all Australians, you can be a little bit more targeted with it, and you can use sophisticated targeting techniques to adjust that message for the different Commonwealth electoral divisions. And this makes your messaging appear more personalised and more relevant to the target audience. The way you'd sell that tax in Fenner is increased tax as a practical policy change that speaks to your sense of responsibility and fairness as an Australian office worker in public administration. It can support better funded local services and stronger community infrastructure, more reliable future for provincial cities, or Canberra, where the dollar should be used wisely. But it also suggests that if you were trying to sell increased taxes to your constituents, you should be saying that a fair contribution for better local services, investing in tax revenue in roads, hospitals and schools, supporting essential public services and Canberran communities, shared responsibility for a stronger Australia. The features of your new increased tax system should be that it helps protect essential local services, keeps funding for roads and schools at the same, supports a fair contribution from everyone, and it can improve community programs and public safety, may reduce pressure on future debt, helps maintain reliable government. And the slogans that you could use when selling this policy is invest a little today for a safer and better public service tomorrow. If I just go back to here, so yes, we're a startup in sales and marketing, but this technology can be applied to politics. The application of AI and machine learning when it comes to voting is going to increase. So we've showed you who your constituents are, and then we've showed you how you can connect to your constituents. Why does no one like MPs? I'm going to put it to you that it's because you do not understand what the silent majority are thinking. All behaviour follows a normal distribution, and in terms of policy, what you'll see is that 80% 80% of people never respond to anything, and 20% of people won't shut up about everything. You have an effect where 20% are very vocal in liking, so you have the 10%, and then you're going to have 10% of people who dislike. But what happens in the middle? The silent majority won't answer your surveys. You can't do market research on them. If you try to call them, they'll hang up on you. They simply will not answer. So what our technology does is it really focuses on what does the 80% think? What are their wants, needs, dreams, and desires? And so this gap in politics, and it's a gap in media, it's why our media is bifurcated. All of the subtlety and nuance lives in this 80%. In fact, your elections are decided by the 80%, not the vocal 10%. But it seems to me that the vocal minorities, this one and this one, at the fringe edges of society, they're the ones who are, in fact, usually inform policy. It's not the wishes of the average Joe, the 80%. It's typically the violent and vocal minorities are affecting policies. This is why it's almost impossible to know what the silent majority thinks. Anyway, so our technology can help you understand what the silent majority thinks, and therefore potentially could be a lens for which to view and inform policy with. Anyway, thanks very much for listening. My name is Aaron. Have a good day and goodbye.